right, we live, we live, we live, we live, we live, we live. All right, there we go. The light on. Um, I know I'm late with this, but I just got the time, so I'm getting these videos out there. Um, everybody saw the lady that is the elder that went to Capitol Hill and basically told her story about the day that they bombed Tulsa, Oklahoma, when she was like 4 years old. She's 104 now, something like that. And and I think she has a cousin that's 100. So he was a baby, like he was just born, you know, and that's just crazy to live all these years and to really get to say your piece on a big scale like that you know, at Capitol Hill. And, the story is worldwide. And it's just been a lot going on. And the anniversary of, you know, a lot of events that have happened over the years. It's like all like coming one after another. So everybody was covering the Tulsa, Oklahoma 100 years. So I proceed to watch a documentary. So maybe it was a lot of hate going on, whereas though at that time it wasn't cool for African Americans to be so independent and thriving, you know. So I was always thinking that they just loped up one day and just like we burning everything down. But this is not what happened. If I'm not mistaken, allegedly, this was like some Emmett Till ordeal. I might be off. So that's what I'm saying allegedly. Something went down with a black man, and he was a prominent black man. So therefore, they just wasn't gonna let this man pay a fine. They wanted justice. I'm talking about, and I want to say it was this man. He had money. He was a prominent man, and I think he was actually in love with a Caucasian woman. And I think it was her family that was against it. And something happened to her. Now, I'm trying to recollect because I saw the documentary and I didn't get all the way through it. Um, but the gist of what I'm trying to say is the blacks in Tulsa, which were World War II veterans, I think. So the blacks, African Americans, were war heroes that came back from the war. Somebody from the black community went and rounded up these soldiers, former soldiers, veterans, black veterans, and was like, "Hey, this guy gonna need protection in court." They not going to try him fairly. He needs protection. So from what I was listening to, if I'm wrong, I'm not far off. The veterans, the black veterans that then fought in World War II went to the courthouse to give this man security because they felt he wasn't going to get a fair trial. So I guess because there were an angry mob out there full of Caucasian men, when they saw the veteran black military veterans coming, and they were, in numbers. So this is what started the whole conflict that went back and forth. It started from a fist fight, then sticks and clubs, and then somebody fired a gun and all hell broke loose. So it just wasn't somebody just woke up and started burning stuff. So this escalated from a black man being on trial for a reason. And like I said, I'm trying to recollect. I think it was like for a woman, and these angry Caucasian men wanted blood. They didn't want no trial. They want blood. So this man had to be a prominent man to the point that the community was trying to provide security for him. They didn't want drama with the Caucasian men. But as they saw them coming in numbers to provide security for this guy, they wasn't going to have that. They like, oh, you think you're going to just move us out the way and we just going to let you stand posts? And no. So it jumped off. So I think when it got back to the officials, I guess it looked like that black men is trying to kill a lot of white men, trying to slaughter white men. And I just think, that was a no-no. So this got so crazy that bombs were let go over that area of Tulsa. So how did it get from a community situation to the military coming in? And the citizens back then owned carriers with bombs and dropped the bombs on this area? So I'm just saying, because the way it was told to me, Caucasians was just tired of seeing African American thriving. No, that wasn't it. Maybe they were, but that wasn't what started the jump off. A man was on trial, and it looked like he probably was going to get off, and they wasn't having it because it involved something to a degree with a white woman, allegedly, So I just wanted to get that off and, talk about that. This is a big event that we're reflecting on, and I just wanted to have content that I spoke on this piece about that, and I hope I gave it justice, but they just didn't wake up and say, we're going to burn this whole joint down. This was something that started from a court situation. Members of the community was trying to provide security for this black man to make sure he was going to get a fair trial and be safe, I guess, coming in and out that courtroom, going to home and to court. I mean, coming out, going back in, however. And that's what jump started, what turned into the Oklahoma Black Wall Street massacre. So I advise and encourage everybody that's interested in what I'm talking about, go find the videos on YouTube and get more in depth. It was like 2.5 hours. I think I got through like maybe an hour and a half. So it was so much coming on about Tulsa. That's why I didn't finish it, because everybody had a story and a piece that they were doing. So I was just soaking it all up. So, so I just wanted to put that out there. So, crazy. And I think reparation. Let's talk about that. What is that going to look like for African American people? Reparation. What would that look like? What kind of money is they gonna give every black person? You know, and we need to specify, is that for African American or people from all descents of color? You got Ethiopian, Nigerians, Cameroon, and you know. So if you're not African American, is that only applying to us? Not you coming from another location of the world? So what is that going to look like? I'm curious. You know. So I'm saying all that to say that I'm 51. I'm cool with allowing reparation to send our kids to school, college for free. And they won't have to come out of school and be in debt. And they can live their life without having to pay back a school loan. It's people that I've heard is getting ready to retire from whatever job they work and have been working, and they still owe school loans. That's crazy to me. I like a quote that I saw on the internet. You don't need a degree to start your own business. I'm glad Kwame Brown is talking about the trade vocational skills. I was told if you have 4 trades under your belt, you'll never be homeless and you'll never be hungry. And he talked about how the men in his life had 3 trades that were needed on construction sites. So these men was not putting up with no disrespect from foremen or anybody that were upper brass because they needed their skill set. I just feel like it's never a bad thing to go get a college degree, but don't think you arrived because you got one. I still feel in this day and time you need a trade as well as a college degree because I know a lot of people with degrees that took them a long time, like 9 years, 5 years, to get a job. Unless you're in like a medical field or you're in the law field, So a lady in the bank graduated, her daughter graduated with my son. She's going to Micah in Baltimore, which is a art school. And she admitted to me that I'm concerned because when she finished, she gonna have a high school loan, and I hope she can get a job right after school, you know, so she could start on these loans. And I suggested to her, tell your daughter go get a trade. And I'm letting my son know you need to get a trade to go with that college degree when you get it, you know, so you can work both sides of the fence. I think that's who winning out here when you have the option, you know. So that's just I think a great suggestion. And the options when you came out of school in the 80s, you was either going in the military or you had a trade or you going to college. One of the three. You're a bad boy if you got all three. You got a college degree, you got a trade, and you went in the military. Come on, man. You can write your own ticket straight up. So yeah, you know, I'm vocational. I learned skills to pay the bills over the years. You know, I did a semester of UDC and I had to drop out. I stated that in another video when my grandmother died, who was helping me go to school. So I tell all these kids that it's fortunate that you have a good support system that's helping you go to school. And you ain't got to worry about bills, food. You're very fortunate. And you need to appreciate who holding you down and letting you go live your dream, you know, straight up. Because everybody don't have it like that, you know. I wish school was free as far as college. I make that argument, you know. You go to grade school, middle school, high school, why college? I watched the documentary. It was a Caucasian man, and he was being truthful. And this guy was like filthy rich, and they was just asking him about the subject of why college is not free. And this guy was like 85. He straight up said, I need somebody to bring me my coffee and fix my breakfast. Basically, I'm interpreting that. Everybody can't be bosses. So that's what he meant by that. That's what I took from it. Who gonna clean my carpets, wash my dishes, clean my cars? That's why college not free. So if you can't figure it out how to get there and pay for it, then you're gonna be doing one of these jobs. It is what it is. That's the reality of it. So don't get me wrong. That's how we survived doing these type of jobs back in the day, up to the day. You know, and if you're savvy, you know, you're doing multiple jobs. So yeah. So I would love for my reparation to send our kids to school for free. Then my son say, well, that's not helping everybody. That's just helping the kids. What about the adults? I say, well, what do you suggest? He say, well, healthcare, free healthcare for everybody, from babies to elders, will help everybody. I say, that's a good point. I can go with either or, you know? So, you know, yeah. So, yeah, I just thought I'd share that. All right, I got a couple of more. I got two more joints that I'm trying to make, and I'm done. And we're gonna go from there. All right, peace.